Revenge of the highway construction boss. First things first, this is a story that an old friend / co-worker of mine told me years ago. This friend has since passed away, RIP Greg, so I am unable to go back to him to get more details. Greg's family lived near Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Greg's dad was in construction working as a job site foreman, and Calgary was going through an oil boom in the 1980s and new roads and highways needed to be built. The practice at the time, probably still is, was to get expensive surveyors to lay out the path for the road at the start of the project, and the path was marked with wooden stakes in the ground. These roads were going through some of the grasslands on Calgary's outskirts, and good progress was being made on the road in question. Then one morning the crew got to the job site and found that all of the stakes had been knocked over. Calgary had, maybe still has, its fair share of yahoos in pickup trucks who like to cause trouble, so from the tire tracks they figure that during the night someone had found the job site, noticed the stakes, and decided it would be fun to drive over all of them. I suppose today's yahoos in pickups would be deterred by cheaper surveillance cameras, but this was 35 years ago. Greg's dad was fuming. But he had to call the surveyors back in to do the layout again before they could continue. A few nights later the same thing happened again. They arrived at the site and found all of the stakes knocked out again. Another call to the surveyor's office later, they had the road mapped again, but Greg's dad had a plan. Construction sites can have a lot of rebar and other types of iron and other metals lying around. They also have lots of heavy equipment for applying force to things. After the stakes were mapped out for the third time, Greg's dad got a crew together to drive an 8-foot-long piece of iron vertically into the ground directly behind one of the stakes near the end of the road layout, with the top of the iron in line with the top of the stake. Then he waited. A small number of days later, he got to the job site and found a wrecked pickup truck in the field along the road's path. Its oil pan and other undercarriage components had been ripped off by the metal post that was protruding from the ground. They had signs all around the site indicating that unauthorized vehicles were prohibited entering, was at your own risk, etc., so they were covered from a legal standpoint. With the truck as evidence, they were able to find its owner and have him charged with trespassing, destruction of property, mischief, and anything else that they could make stick. TLDR construction crew boss uses a reinforced wooden stake to catch nocturnal job site vehicular vandals. Calgary has plenty of yahoos in pickups still. Plot twist: it was the surveyor's truck. I just read a story about mailboxes here not that long ago where somebody asked, do they think that no one notices? Do they think they can keep doing this and getting away with it? How stupid can you be? I still would like to know the answers. The practice at the time, probably still is, was to get expensive surveyors to lay out the path for the road at the start of the project, and the path was marked with wooden stakes in the ground. Highway engineer here. The answer is yes, surveyors do still lay out slope stakes, but it's becoming less common as automated grade control becomes more widespread. Basically the equipment used for controlling the slopes, graders and bulldozers mostly, are hooked up with GPS survey tech, which means they can set their blade to where the slope needs to go. Pretty much renders stakes obsolete, although surveyors are still used a lot for QC and measuring quantities for payment. You mostly see that on big highway projects with big contractors, but it's becoming more common. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe. It's free. Check out some other videos I've made.